Hey everyone, it's your host Joy, and welcome to the Equipping You podcast. We are so happy that you decided to join us for each episode as we delve into stories, strategies, and successes of entrepreneurs around the world. So, in today's episode, we're exploring the theme of breaking through fear. So, join me as we discuss how entrepreneurs are embracing courage and confronting fear to keep moving forward in their business. So, grab your journal or a sheet of paper. I'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in today. Our mission is to equip and empower you to dig in and soar higher, doing the things that you love. This podcast is where you'll hear leading experts from around the globe figuring out what you could be doing to tackle your greatest business challenges. So get ready to hear from some of the brightest minds and boldest thinkers on how they're taking on these problems and how you could too. Now here's your host.
So, welcome back to the Equipping You podcast. Thank you all for watching and subscribing to our podcast. So, most of you know me because we've been doing this podcast for a few years now. But if we haven't met, my name is Joy Norman, and I'm an empowerment and success coach. And I am blessed to help success-driven women entrepreneurs get past their fear and procrastination, move forward and take action, and build a profitable and sustainable business without wasting time on strategies that just don't work. Even if you've been struggling to grow your business for years and you haven't seen much fruit, working your business can be tough and overwhelming, and we just want to support your growth. So, are you ready to dive in? Okay, let's do it. As entrepreneurs, we often encounter fear in various forms. Fear is an ever present companion on the entrepreneurial journey. And when I embarked on my entrepreneurial venture, I was riddled with doubts and insecurities. People would tell me that I need to embrace courage. However, embracing courage does not mean the absence of fear. Rather, it is the willingness to confront fear head on and forge ahead despite its presence. And for me, embracing courage meant acknowledging my fears, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, and then choosing to move forward anyway. And so I began by reframing my mindset and viewing fear not as a hindrance, but as a catalyst for growth. And then each fear I confronted became an opportunity for learning and self-discovery. Also, I sought inspiration from fellow entrepreneurs who had overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. And it was reminding myself that resilience and determination are the cornerstones of success. And today I am thrilled to have you with us as we dive into the topic of fear and entrepreneurship. Fear is something we all grapple with, but for entrepreneurs, it can be especially daunting. Yet, time and time again, we see entrepreneurs not only facing their fears, but breaking through them to achieve remarkable success. So, joining me today are some amazing entrepreneurs and fearless leaders who have experienced firsthand the power of breaking through fear in business. So I'm going to share highlights from our From Fear to Faith to Fierce Empowerment Summit and how our speakers embraced courage, confronted their fears, and how they are persevering in the pursuit of their entrepreneurial dreams. Also, I will have an exclusive offer for you later in the show. Okay, let's get started. So I was happy to chat with Kathy Baldwin. Kathy is a transformational coach, author, and speaker. And after hitting rock bottom, Kathy embarked on a self-guided healing journey. And using innovative methodologies from her studies in neuroscience, biology, quantum physics, and energy healing, Kathy transformed her life. And inspired by her breakthrough, she now dedicates herself to empowering others to unlock their potential and create lasting change. So let's take a peek at what Kathy shares in our Empowerment Summit. What gave you that courage, and what are some other things that you did to overcome I love you said the people pleaser. Yeah.
I did not know that I had boundaries. Do you know, I was so good in business that I knew how to create a mission statement. I knew how to create value statements. I knew how to create structure and everything for business, but I didn't know how to do it for myself. I did not know that there was such a thing as personal boundaries. I did not know that I was allowed to say no. I did not know. I thought I always had to prove myself. I thought I always had to give more. And, you know, I would work twice as hard as anybody. And I would do so much for free to prove how good I was. And it just pulled me in so many directions that I became so disaligned from who I am that I didn't even recognize myself anymore.
Wow. Yeah, I love that personal boundaries. You know, I always say no is a complete sentence.
Nobody told me that.
Absolutely, Kathy. It's okay to have healthy boundaries and say no to others when you need to. Next, let's hear from Doyen Acarinade. Doyen is a personal finance coach who is passionate about helping zero to middle income earning individuals achieve financial independence and abundance. And in our chat, Doyen makes a great point to women who think they are not good enough to put themselves out there. So listen closely to what Doyen shares.
There's a saying that if you think you can, you're right. And if you also think you can't, you're right. It's about your mindset. What do you think you can do? How do you see yourself? You know, sometimes a lot of people even think, am I deserving of this? Am I worthy of this? And you know, this thing called imposter syndrome as well, where people think, oh, this thing I'm doing, will I be found out later to be a fraud or something? And you think you're not just good enough. You just think every other person is better than you. It's still about the mindset. And at one point or the other, we all go through this phase. And in fact, there was something I read about some time ago about the fact that this thing most especially affects women more than men. You know, like there was an example that was given, like for people, professionals, that when there is an opening, or even for business people, when there is maybe a contract opening and they need to submit their proposal, if a man has like 25% of what is being requested for, the man will still go ahead and apply. and go with like all the boost of, oh, at least I know 25%, let's do this. But a woman that has 75% of the requirement, we still sit down and be wondering, no, but I don't have 25%. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm not up to it. Oh, I'm not good enough for this thing. And the woman decides not to even apply because you're already thinking you're not good enough. So at the end of the day, it's the person that shows up that will get the job, even though the person has 25% and you have 75%. But the fact that you're not even showing up because your mindset has disqualified you, like, no, you're not good enough for this thing, you end up not getting it. So I just want to encourage each and every one of us. There are times that, the birds will come and fly over your head. In terms of your mindset, some limiting mindset can come because of different things, but don't allow the bird to stay right on your head. When the thoughts come, those limiting thoughts, don't allow them to settle. Respond with an empowering thought, respond with, and with empowering affirmations, and before you know it, you come out of it. So let's just, just do it. Just go ahead and just take on the challenge. Don't let us allow our mindset to keep us down.
Okay, that's it. It's over. Interview is over. You just nailed it. I'm about to drop the mic already. Thank you, Doyen, for empowering us. It can be scary to put yourself out there. I know firsthand about not speaking up and not believing that I deserve a seat at the table. And fear has been a constant companion on my entrepreneurial journey. Whether it's launching a new product, pitching to investors, or navigating uncertain markets, there has been countless moments where fear threatened to hold me back. However, I learned that fear is not the enemy because it's a natural part of the process. By acknowledging my fears and reframing them as opportunities for growth, I've been able to confront them head on and keep moving forward. Next, I was so excited to chat with Cindy Burns. Cindy is making it her life mission to help widows go from pain to purpose and from grief to growth. And as a life purpose and happiness coach, Cindy is here to help widows answer the what's next and who am I now questions, so that you can find your purpose and live a new and rewarding life. So let's take a look at how Cindy is embracing courage, confronting fear, and helping others deal with grief.
Grief is not a disease. It's not a condition. I know now it's in the medical thing, and they consider it a disease, but it's not anything contagious. It's something we all go through at some point in our life. Nobody gets through life without some kind of grief. And the more we learn about it and the more we can talk about it, the better off we are.
Yeah. We're all going to have challenges in life.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's the way you handle it.
Yeah, you can use it to make you stronger and better. I mean, I'm at my most confident and most self-assured, and I know who I am and I like who I am for the first time in my entire life. Would I give it all up if my husband was here? Yes. I'd rather he be here with me, or maybe with me to share it. But then I wouldn't feel this way if it hadn't been for losing him.
Yeah.
So, you take what God gives you and you become better for it.
You become better. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cindy. As an entrepreneur, the journey is never linear. There are inevitable setbacks, rejections, and moments of doubt. However, it's during these moments that the true test of courage emerges. and the willingness to keep going in the face of adversity. And with each step forward, you can gain momentum and confidence. And you can learn to trust your instincts, embrace uncertainty, and adapt to challenges as they arise. So next, I was happy to talk with Ingrid Howlingen. So take a listen as Ingrid shares a bit about her journey growing up and how she embraces courage and confronts fear and pursues her dreams. So you are in the business of helping business owners to overcome fear of public speaking and standing in front of groups, sharing their message. So
Yes.
tell us, how did this come about?
Well, God, I have to go really, really way back. I was shy when I was little. I've always been that way. But there was also a little perfectionist in me. So everything I did needed to be good. It was my way of getting attention. Just be good at things, or be the best at things. And one thing that I liked was dancing. So I started by the age of 6 or something by dancing in front of groups, in front of the school class, so to speak. And I kept on doing that. And at one point, I was 6 years later or something, at one point, someone said to me again in that nagging voice. Apparently, I was dancing to a number that was similar to something that I did before. And they had a very nagging voice saying again. And that was the first time that I felt being watched and being judged. And that had such a profound impact on me that after that, I tried it one more time and I got a sort of similar response, and then I stopped doing it. So now I was a shy person who did not express herself anymore. So I became totally turned inwards. Like, I don't want to be here, but it was the only thing that I knew what to do. And my mom took me to a choir one day, and that's where I discovered singing, and that via singing I could express myself. It was my way of communication. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone else needs to start singing. Some people like drawing, some people like painting, some people like doing podcasts. It's just a way of expressing yourself, a way of presenting yourself. And from that moment on, I started a journey to overcome my shyness and to stand in front of groups. First of all, it's in a choir, so that I was safe in a group of other people, and then gradually being alone in front of groups.
Yes, Ingrid, along the way, you can discover that courage is not a fleeting moment of bravery, but a continuous practice of resilience and perseverance. Also, during the From Fear to Faith, Two Fierce Empowerment Summit, I was excited to chat with the Sister Talks panel featuring Connie Donnelly and Mita Vicky Wise. Our Sister Talks ladies pulled back the curtain and shared how they are stretching themselves, stepping out of their comfort zones, and pushing themselves beyond what they thought was possible. So here is a quick reminder from the Sister Talks ladies, encouraging you to keep moving forward.
I mean, just remembering that you don't have to be perfect, and the situation doesn't have to be perfect, because if you wait for that, you might be waiting a while. So it doesn't have to be perfect to move forward. It takes just a little courage, a little bit of commitment, a little bit of love, and some support from others, and you can do it. And people are there for you, your friends, people like Joy and Connie and I and many others. We're all here for you. So
just take that step, just do it, and just know that whatever that outcome is, there's another place for you to step to and another outcome, and there's an exciting future there for you to step into.
There is such strength and encouragement and uplifting with being with our friends and encouraging them and them encouraging you. It's like, we got this, we can do this. Yeah.
Yes. We got this. Look at this. We made it. Put your hands up, ladies. Yes, ladies, thank you for being a cheerleader in someone else's life. We all need to connect with other like-minded women. Chances are you are not the only one going through a difficult situation. Sometimes the greatest strength comes in recognizing that we cannot do things alone. So thank you, Connie and Mita, for sharing your incredible insights about shifting our perspective on fear and seeing it as a catalyst for growth rather than a barrier to success. Next, I was happy to meet Sarah M. Sarah has an amazing story of triumph where she overcame 4 years of captivity. And through her own resilience and God's help, she escaped captivity, graduated college, and wrote an award-winning book. And now she inspires others to have hope, courage, and a positive perspective in life. Her impactful message has been heard at corporate events, conferences, churches, schools, TV, podcasts, radio, and more. So here is Sarah.
I have that clear vision that I want to go home. I want to be with my loving family. So that's the purpose that helped me to stay hopeful, to stay positive that things will change. And also, I have faith in God. I appreciate what I have. At least I'm still alive. And also be grateful. Be grateful. How when I said that, some people cannot believe, how could you be grateful? In the captivity, yeah, you can find some gratitude. And also forgive others. If we don't forgive, we have built that bitterness inside and it will tear you apart. You have to find a way to forgive people around you.
All I can say to that is, wow, Sarah, what an amazing story of faith and resilience. You know, life is a journey of courage, the courage to keep going in the face of adversity. And as women of faith, we must embrace courage as our guiding force, and knowing that it is through our willingness to confront fear that we unlock our true potential. So next, meet Pamela Plick. Pamela is on a mission to empower women to confidently build wealth from the inside out, providing the education, strategies, and tools to grow financial confidence, security, and freedom. Pamela is a money mastery and wealth strategist. So, Pamela, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who may be struggling with fear and self-doubt? Why is it so hard for us to ask for support, ask for help? It's because we see it as a sign of weakness.
Yes.
We, like I said, we're taught to be the caregivers, we're taught to be strong, take care of everyone else.
Yeah.
But the key is, and I have another analogy that I love too, is that, when you fly, if you've flown anywhere recently, or even if you've ever been on a plane, they're giving you the safety spiel. And what do they tell you? If the cabin pressure drops, put the oxygen mask on yourself first,
Yes.
and then the person that you're traveling with, right? Because if you can't take care of you first,
Yes.
then you're not able to take care of anyone else.
Yes.
And so we have to keep that in mind, because it's not a badge of honor.
No.
Always be the strong woman.
Funny that you were talking about flying and the oxygen mask. I use that analogy a lot. And I use the acronym FLY. First, love yourself.
Absolutely. Oh, beautiful. Yes, absolutely. And I also want to mention, that we all know when it comes to self-care, we all know about, maybe getting a massage when we need it, or getting a manicure, or exercising. But taking care of yourself financially is also a form of self-care. And we don't always realize that.
Yeah. Thank you, Pamela. That's an awesome analogy of how taking care of yourself can lead to incredible outcomes in business. My advice would be to embrace fear as a natural part of the journey, and to recognize that it's okay to feel afraid, because the key is not to let fear dictate your decisions or hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Surround yourself with a positive network, seek guidance from mentors, and take small steps outside of your comfort zone. And most importantly, remember that courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite it. Next, we are so honored to feature our Youth Spotlight speaker this year at our Empowerment Summit. So let me introduce you to Mia Joy. Mia Joy is not your average young leader. She is a force to be reckoned with. At just 15 years old, she has demonstrated an exceptional level of leadership and passion for empowering her peers. And her journey is a testament to the transformative power of fearlessness, faith, and fierceness. And even at a young age, Mia Joy has exhibited outstanding leadership skills that set her apart. So here is Mia Joy.
You don't always have to get it done right away, push yourself to the limit where you break. You can also take a quick little time to just realize, like, refocus and figure out what we want to do that day, and just give a self-care day, like you said.
Yeah.
And not push ourselves too hard. Sometimes I meditate and I just sit in a room for 10 minutes and just figure out what I want to do. Like, I can just take a break and really live in that moment, because I worry a lot about the past and the future, but I'm like, we're in the present right now. We need to really focus on the good things that are happening right now.
Yeah.
So I love doing that.
Yeah.
Setbacks they're not always bad. Sometimes if you miss something, like, maybe you'll realize in the future that, well, it was maybe good that I didn't do that. Maybe this was meant to be in a certain way that I don't need to specifically think of it as bad. And I just think of it as, okay, that's just a little help, and that's just the way it's supposed to be going. And really focus on that. And it's all happening for a reason, and
Yes.
I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And just enjoy my life.
Yeah.
I have also modeled myself after the people I've learned about in my U.S. history classes, thank you to Mrs. Andrews. For example, a person I have taken a liking to is John Lewis, and if you don't know who he is, you should really search him out. And a quote from his final essay that really stuck with me, and which has stuck with you, is, "When historians pick up their pens to write the story of the 21st century, let them say that it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate at last, and that peace finally triumphed over violence, aggression, and war." So now, if you don't care or remember any part of my speech, just to know that don't let other people embarrass you, embrace it. And congratulations, have a great summer. And in the wise words of John Lewis, so I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love be your guide.
Thank you so much, Mia, for being our Youth Spotlight speaker. We received many positive reviews from our summit attendants on how Mia Joy is inspiring, motivating, and empowering them to embrace their own journeys from fear to faith to fierceness. Thank you, Mia Joy. Also, I was elated to meet Christine Steenkamp. I enjoyed our chat about how to release your blocks in your business. Christine is a mind-body harmony specialist, and she is also a certified coach with 10 years of emotional and spiritual work under her belt. And over the years, she has been exposed to how entrepreneurs function and where they get stuck so often, even herself. And with time, she recognized how to spot these blocks and help entrepreneurs move past their blocks with her own experience and her work on her own emotional and spiritual growth. So take a listen to Christine.
For me, my belief in myself was, I couldn't understand where it was, but then always these things would come up, but you think it's something small, it can't be that. Until actually one day I did some work, and in grade 2, grade 2, second year of school, I had a teacher that shouted at me every day because in cursive writing, I would turn around my B and D. And I guess because she shouted at me every day and my parents didn't really do anything about it, that really messed up my self-belief, your confidence in that you can do something. And then once I actually handled that inner child work and released that, everything started to change. So then I understood where it came from. I could work on it. And it's just like, it felt like everything just like in my head. And so from there, I knew I had more confidence. So I think that's one of the things where my confidence thing actually also helped, and it gave it a boost, because it was last year that I worked on that. And then from there, obviously it went up and down as well, but it feels like that from because that was the root cause of that. For me, that felt like it was the root cause. So then from there, I could tackle all the things that I want to do. Yeah, so inner child work is so important.
Yes, Christine, I agree. The foundational benefit of inner child work is developing self-awareness. And some of the other benefits of inner child work include understanding how past traumas affect your present behavior. Doing inner child work, it helps you feel empowered and in control of your life. Also, you have increased self-esteem, self-compassion, and compassion for others. So this is very important work. But wait, there's more. Meet Tina K. Kalia. Tina is an unapologetic wild woman, author, speaker, and positivity agent. She is an embodiment coach, sacred circle facilitator, a rebel, and fiercely devoted to helping female leaders break up with limiting beliefs, reclaim their voice, and ditch their not so good enoughness. Tina works with women to help them find balance again, rekindle their zest for life, and come into deeper alignment with their feminine energy in business and in life. So here is Tina.
Our voices come from the body. So I work a lot with getting women out of here and getting them to feel whatever they've gone through. So often there's tears, there's trauma, there's suppressed emotions that were stuck there for years, sometimes decades, to go, I create a safe container for you to explore what lies beneath the surface, to bring it up into the light, and then to reframe it. Because that pain that often is associated with something, it could be something your father told you when you were young. It could have been something that someone at school told you. Someone may have bullied you. But we internalize it because we feel like if I want to say no with conviction, then I'm going to get judged for being confrontational or difficult. You know, everyone has a set of words that we thought define who we are. And taking these words and changing them is often like a portal to step through and then really allow ourselves for the real woman to come back out. Yeah. Like you literally embody, I'm a sovereign person. I am grounded in who I am. And I don't care what Lucy from school or Patrick from work thinks about the way I dress, the way I have my hair, what colors I wear, how I express myself, because it doesn't affect us. But that takes courage, and it's often linked with fear.
You talked about perfection, because that was one of the things for me, you know, wanting it to be perfect. You know, I needed all my little ducks to be lined up. And wow, until I started getting coaching myself to realize, oh, this is a safe place where I can be open, I can ask questions, and I don't have to be embarrassed.
That's a good point you made, Joy. So for me, the fear of making a mistake was something that I had to overcome. But I think being able to be a coach is every time you have a client, you grow with your client, and your work is not ever finished either. And accepting that has probably been my biggest lesson. You do not have to have, like you said, your ducks in a line. Sometimes my ducks dance and waddle and are on a rave, and I have no idea where half of them are. That's what sometimes life feels like.
Yes, Tina, that is such valuable advice for anyone navigating the entrepreneurial landscape. So thank you so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us. Call me later, girlfriend. We're going duck hunting. We got to find all our ducks and get them back in a row. Last but not least, I was happy to also share at this Empowerment Summit my cheat code for getting out of the planning phase and the power of taking action and moving forward. One of my most transformative moments in my journey came when I made the decision to take action despite my fears. And instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the assurance of success, I took the plunge and launched my venture. And it was a leap of faith fueled by the belief that the only way to conquer fear is to face it head on. So check out an excerpt of what I'm sharing in the Empowerment Summit. Learn to be okay with imperfection. Did you hear what I just said? Lean in. Learn to be okay with imperfection. It's okay. I want you to highlight this one when you write it down. This is a hard one because this one is really hard because you have to check your reasoning. Are you running away from something rather than towards something? What is causing you to want to wait and want everything to be perfect? What is going on there? But the key is to be aware of what's going on. You have to trust yourself, and then you have to recognize when you see it. There's a fine balance between okay, it's good, to very good. Don't go from good to perfect. Go from good to very good because you have to find that balance. You have to start. And so here's a quote that I like that says, don't be afraid to start over. This time, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. So trust yourself, learn to be okay with imperfection. I say, I'm perfectly imperfect. One thing that I would like to leave with you today is if there is something that you have been wanting to do, I encourage you to start today. Keep going. Don't give up because you never know who may need your services. Please don't quit because you can do this. You are equipped and you are enough. You can go from fear to faith to fierce. Don't miss any of the secrets. Here's an opportunity for you to get lifetime access to all the session recordings.
Hi, it's Tina KK Leah. You may wondered why we want you to go and keep these recordings for future is because the more you listen to something, it's just like a good book. There's always another layer of nugget, and you may be at work when these things get streamed and you may want to come back to it. So do sign up for the recordings because you have a library of wisdom, of stories, and they will reach you at different times when you recircle to them, and it's super affordable. So please invest in yourself for 2024 and allow yourself to step out of your fear, have faith in your abilities, and become fierce, because if we can do it together, it's so much fun. And Joy is an amazing host, an amazing woman, amazing entrepreneur. So be here. Make sure you get the recordings.
With your VIP All Access Pass, you will have on-demand access to a private membership area for you to view all the summit sessions. Grab your All Access Pass today at FromFearToFierce.com/VIP. Grab your All Access Pass and never worry about missing a single nugget of wisdom from our Empowerment Summit. Okay, so this concludes episode 54. Thank you, everyone, for participating in our From Fear to Faith to Fierce Empowerment Summit, the summit for overcoming challenges, breaking barriers, and achieving remarkable results as fierce entrepreneurs. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all on the show today to share your experiences with our listeners. Also, thank you to our viewers for tuning in today. Remember, fear may be inevitable, but it's how we respond to it that truly defines our success as entrepreneurs. So, to my fellow entrepreneurs, I urge you to embrace courage, confront your fears, and keep going. For greatness lies on the other side of fear. All right, everyone. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed rest of the week. And until next time, keep breaking through fear and chasing your dreams. See you next time. Bye-bye.